Hello, so I've been out and played at Cotswold View Disc Golf course just ahead of the tournament that we've got here coming up. I really like this course. I'm going to try to rush through most of these, but then spend a little bit more time on the holes that are new for people who haven't played them before. So anyway, let's get into it. Hole 1, pretty simple. This is where you just sort of get yourself into the woods to start it off. I just like to throw a big spike hyzer, nuke OS, crash into the trees. Pretty good there. I just find that the simplest play. I don't think it's necessarily the best one, but it's the one that I like. Left myself with a very close putt, but just a slightly awkward straddle, and I go ahead and just shank it to start, so that's wonderful. I then just go tap in again, but a very close putt and a silly one to miss. Anyway, on to hole 2. So hole 2's a little bit of a tricky one. It's quite a tight gap. They don't normally play the tournaments from this back tee, but I'm glad they are because it's a lot better. I just like to take something straight to flippy, so I got an undertaker here, and I'm just trying to throw it into the ground, and then it's just going to get a lot of ground play and it's going to slide up the fairway perfectly here. You don't need to try to turn it round the corner. You just want to throw it straight and let the ground play do it. And then, yeah, nice. Pretty simple putt here for birdie. Make that. And then hole 3 is very similar. This is a super eagleable par 4. It's only about 340 feet, something like that. I'm just taking my onyx and I'm doing the same as I just did with the undertaker, trying to throw it into the ground. Came out a touch early and got a really bad kick right, but we're more than halfway down, so pretty simple putter. Pattern pending round the corner. And then, yeah, that wasn't a particularly good effort, to be honest, so left with a jumper, which I hit the last tree and clean up for the par. Now, very simple, short little par 3 here, just standstill putter around the corner. I threw slightly too flippy there, so I'm going to go for a slightly more stable lunar next time, but still just inside the circle with not a bad putt, so another pretty easy birdie. Now, hole 5, this is the first of the new ones, so it's saying 60 meters. It's not very far, but what's really awkward here is there's not really a defined gap to get round to the basket on the right, so the basket for this is old hole 6 pretty much. So I'm trying to throw a flippy standstill forehand to go through this initial gap straight and then fade at the end. Now, I thought I had it, but it faded out just early and hit a tree. But this is fine. What you don't want to do is go left. If you go left, or you can go straight, but if you go left, you're just going to have a really tricky approach shot. Whereas where I am now, slightly on the right, I've just got an easy forehand flick. Or if I'd even been further right into that sort of junk, it would be even easier. So this is sort of showing the gap you need to try to hit. But then, yeah, tapping for par, just make sure you get it to the right. So now hole 6, this is another new one. This is really nice. I like this one. It's about the same, really short par 3. There's a tree in front of me here that's got a bush at the foot of it. Now, that's your aim point, and then you're just going to try to get something to fade quite hard off that, actually. So I'm going with my most overstable lunar, and for me, this just kind of comes out early and goes left, which is fine. That's no problem there. I'm going to throw again and show you what I tried to do. So see, at that tree where the bush is at the foot of it with a hard fade. Now, here's what my lunar ended up. It wasn't too bad at all. Just missed with the jump putt and then tap in for par. Hole 7, this is normal, just trying to throw whatever a disc you can throw super straight. So I throw a buzz, comes out early, terrible shot, honestly. So it wouldn't normally be in a bad spot, but it wasn't a good one. So I just throw a second one here and show you what you're meant to do. Keep it much lower, aim it at the post, get a little bit of turn, and then a little bit of fade at the end. There's my chip out, and had a bit of technical difficulties here, but surprise, I missed the putt. So 8, that's another new one. This is nice. I like this. Again, another 50 odd meter one. It's dead straight, but I'm just going to throw, you want to throw something quite flippy, I would say, because you're throwing it so soft. you're going to struggle to get it to hold straight. But the key here is just kind of throw it at or slightly to the right of the basket and throw it low so that it doesn't fade out. Now I got the low part, but I just missed the line, but it's no problem. Just you want to throw it straight. If you can keep it in the tunnel, ideal, but not a hard hole as long as you don't, you know, miss early and go deep into the stuff. Now 9, this is a really nice short one, sort of similar length, but a really nice hole actually. You're trying to get out this mouth that you can see and then fade really hard to the left. So I've got my overstable Luna, and what you're trying to do is sort of go high and at the middle of the gap. Now I did a good shot getting out the gap, but I didn't give it enough height. You want to really push the ceiling so that it gets through all the way, but that was about circle's edge, so it wasn't a bad leave. Nothing changed about this hole, but this is one of my absolute favorites. Really good hole. I'm taking a Nuco S and I'm just trying to throw it hard, high, and on a little bit of a flex so that it gets to the end, to the mouth, and then just goes really hard left. Couldn't see the flight, but it was a good shot. Now I'm sort of showing the layup play, so if you don't have confidence in going for it, or you don't have the distance, just throw something you can turn over. Make sure you get it past the initial bush on the right, and then finish as far right as you can. Really is your best layup option. Just missed the birdie putt there, and now on to hole 11. We couldn't work out where this tee's meant to be for the tournament, so I'm just playing it as the par 4, which is where you just aim for this gap that's down there. So I've thrown a buzz straight at it. Nice shot, and I think this is about where the tournament tee will probably be. It's a par 3 from here. Could be to the right of here. It's showing like it's to the right of here, but I've also seen it here-ish, so that you have kind of both options. I'm just throwing flippy Luna. It says it's 70 meters on the caddy book, but I measured it as only 60 from where I was there. So not sure how that's going to play, so sorry, can't really give you much more description of that one. Hole 12, this is a nice one. Just throw a straight putter with a little bit of flip at the end. Nothing too complicated. Left myself another sort of just inside the circle putt. Make that for birdie. Now 13, really short hole, even shorter than it says on the caddy book, but tightest gap on the course. So you just got to really commit to throwing up the right side here. Otherwise you're not going to have room for the disc to fade round to the left. So up the right side with some hyzer, and I threw a good one there. Make the birdie. Hole 14, lovely hole. You just want to get it through the initial gap and flying straight here. So I've just thrown jawbreaker zone here and tap in for birdie. Not a hard hole as long as you hit the initial gap. Now this one's just sort of a forehand hole. I like to throw something flippy, get it to go straight, and then just sort of skip around. So this was actually a forehand buzz. You can see it sort of skip at the end, but I played from the first one, which wasn't very good. 16, now this is kind of a theme for the next couple of holes, unfortunately. They're really short par 4s where you're only throwing about a 40-meter tee shot. So I don't mind this one at all, to be honest. If that, I should have thrown the tee shot better, and then I would have had this for my second shot, but instead I had to chip out, and this is my third. But that's a simple up and down for par from there. Now 17, I don't like to criticize disc golf holes very often, but I do not like this hole at all. I cannot see a way to play it. So I'm trying to throw something flippy on an insane amount of hyzer. There's a Mando tree just on the left here, and out of bounds on the right. So I'm trying to throw insanely flippy, get it to just go around the corner. Now I did that, hit a tree and rolled back. So this tree that's just at my back now, this is the Mando tree you can see on the caddy book. So I only just made the Mando, and now I'm playing sort of 70-80 meters down there. So I'm just forehand flick and then missed my approach shot. So this is actually my putt for 4. So that's a bogey. I cannot see how you're meant to play that hole at all. I would say just you've got to get round the corner, but somehow make the Mando and not go OB. Now 18's a nice hole. I like this one. It's really hard, but I'm just trying to, similar to the first couple of holes, I'm just throwing something flippy and low. I didn't quite get that one to flip enough, but it's more than halfway down the hole through the gap, so now I've just got a pretty simple up and down. So just little flex zone up to the basket, and that's it, tapping in to end the day. So thank you very much for watching. If you're playing the tournament, I'll see you there, and please like, subscribe, all those good things. See you next time.